And the reason why is we're still trying to figure all this out. So just bear with me. I know that some of you had some issues with the syllabus test. Somebody emailed me and pointed that out. I think several people maybe had tried to take it, but only one student emailed me and said, "Hey, Mr. Turner, I'm not getting anything." So it should be corrected now. So if you tried to take the syllabus quiz and it would not let you, you need to go ahead and do that. Really, for this week, all we're trying to do is sort of get familiar with Canvas and take the syllabus quiz before it closes, and just some little stuff like that. And we'll get rolling. Hopefully, if not today, then tomorrow I'll have the first unit up, and those of you who want to go ahead and get started on that will be able to do that. We are technically a hybrid class, and what hybrid means is that there's a meeting component, and we will meet through the computer. We will not come to campus to meet. So we will have class meetings usually at least once a week. We will meet. We won't necessarily meet Tuesday and Thursday every week. We'll do it as we sort of need to, and I will get you a daily or weekly calendar, and it will explain to you on the days we meet and the days we don't. Even on the days that we don't formally meet class, I will probably have a conference out there so that you guys, if you need to pop in and talk to me about an assignment, or we need to look at something, you'll be able to do that. But I'll let you know up front that that's not a required class meeting. And even if there's not a conference, I will be in front of my computer at 11 o'clock every Tuesday, Thursday, from 11 to 12:15 when this class meets. And so if you need something from me, I will be able to meet with you then. And let me say this, the mistake that students make often is they wait too long. They don't contact the instructor if they're having issues or things like that. Don't do that. If you don't understand something, if you need something, if you have some questions, then you need to contact me, email me or whatever. If it's something that we need to do where we can't email back and forth, then we can set up a conference or a Skype or something and have contact with each other. Just don't wait too long. There'll be quizzes that you'll have chapters to read every week, and there will be quizzes out there and maybe discussion boards. Make sure that you take care of those and do everything in a timely manner. Don't wait till the last minute to do anything. Students do that, and they fall behind. Something happens to them. I tell my students, many of you live in a perfect world. You know, your internet never goes out, your power never goes off, you never get sick. And if an assignment says it's due September the 3rd, and you wait till 10 o'clock September the 3rd to work on it, and your internet's out, you've missed the assignment. So stay out in front of things so that you don't run into problems. And we will sort of, you know, it's going to be a little different this semester, but we'll figure it out as we go. All right. So there is no textbook for the class. Somebody in one of my classes, and I cannot remember who it is, I've answered a lot of emails in the last 2 days. Somebody emailed me about class today and said something about the textbook. And so there's 2 points to this story. And I emailed them back first and said, "What class are you in?" I've gotten a lot of emails in the last couple of days from students on their personal emails. And even sometimes students won't even give me their name. So if you email me through Canvas. It does a couple things. Number one, it tells me what class you're in. Number two, it allows me to speak with you about certain things. If you send me an email through your personal email asking about grades or classwork, I can't tell you. It's against the policies of the college for me to contact you through your personal email and give you information. So if you email me that same email through Canvas and I know it's you, you had to be able to get into Canvas and all of this. And so I can answer questions I can't answer the other way. So, and I have students who email me, they'll go, "Mr. Turner, you know, such and such about class," and then I have to email them back and go, "What class you in?" You know, And so when they emailed me yesterday, it was through a personal email, and they said, I've got the textbook. And I said, what? I thought to myself, wait a minute. I teach 4 classes tomorrow, and none of them require students to purchase a textbook. So the good news for this class is you do not have to purchase the textbook. The textbook is provided for you online as a digital copy. So let me see if I can get my screen to share with you. So you should be able to see my screen now in front of you. Give it a second. If you can't, yesterday I had problems with students. They said, Mr. Turner, all I see is a black screen. I don't see anything. But you should be able to see sort of infinite big blue button pages, which is a little disconcerting. But anyway, so if you go to Canvas, and so now you should be able to see my Canvas page. That's not what I want. And go to modules. We do everything through modules, okay? So you should see a course overview module, and your syllabus quiz is in there. It's only 5 questions. It's fairly easy. The syllabus page has pretty much all the information that you need to answer those questions. So what you need to do this week is sort of read through the course overview. Make sure that you download Respondus, because that's what we'll take tests and quizzes through, and you have to have our version of Respondus. You can't just go to Respondus and download any version. You got to have Coastal Alabama's version. And then at the very bottom of that, you'll see something that says Introduction to Public Communication. This is our textbook. It links out to the textbook, and if I click here, it will actually open up the textbook in its own window, and then I can see the chapters, and if you click on a chapter, it takes you to it. So if you see that the first week says read chapter 1, then if you click on that, it will take you to chapter 1, and you just do your reading from chapter 1. Okay, so that's the first part of chapter, and then this is the next part. And so just go through and read. That's where you do your reading from. You'll have a link, and actually, once you get to the textbook, maybe not this one. Let me see. One of the things that I will do, there's a download book option right here, and it'll download as a PDF to your computer or whatever, and then you don't have to go online. You can just read it off your computer if you need to. So I will usually put the PDF version. I'll usually put the PDF version under there so you can open it. But that is the textbook. Okay. So this first week, just look through this first module, do the syllabus quiz. We do everything through modules. So do everything through modules. Students will go to syllabus and look at the schedule underneath the syllabus, and that's where they want to do their assignments from, is down here. Don't do everything through modules, okay? So it'll have module 1, and then it'll have unit 1. It'll have what you're supposed to read, and it'll have all the assignments associated with unit 1. It'll show their due dates. And then it'll have unit 2, everything. We may not do the chapters in order, and we may skip chapters. And so this will tell you what to read. It will tell you what assignments are due and when they're due and things of that nature. So make sure that you do everything through that, and you'll be able to keep up with everything and do everything that you need to do. Okay? And so that's the way that things will work. Like I said, we won't necessarily meet every day. We will meet on Tuesday or on Thursday of a week, and some weeks we won't meet. We may not meet Tuesday. You'll have an online assignment to do, but we will meet Thursday. And then we'll meet together and we'll discuss the chapter material, or we'll have an assignment to do in class or something like that. And then that'll allow us to get together. This is not a public speaking class. I'm sure that there are probably many of you who are in this class because you're refugees from public speaking. You don't have to stand up and deliver all those speeches. I understand. I had to take public speaking, and it was one of the most trying courses that I took in college. So I'm right there with you. I understand speech anxiety, but we do deliver a couple of speeches in here because that is part of oral communication. So we're not a speech class per se, but you do have a speech or two to give, and a speech or two beats 4 or 5 speeches, and the bulk of your grade being where your public speaking presence, and that's the way it is in 107. It is a public speaking class, so 60-70% of your grade is on your ability to deliver speeches. That will not be the case in this class. It will not be 60 or 70% of your grade that is reliant on your ability to do that. We will have a much smaller percentage of our grade devoted to public speaking, but we do have to give a speech or two, and we'll work out how we're going to do that. We're a smaller class, and that is probably a blessing to me because this is the first time that I have taught this. It will allow me to sort of get a feel for the class before I have to teach it with 30 students. And so we'll get it figured out. But as we go through the semester, if anything doesn't work, somebody let me know. So if you click a button and, if you go into Canvas and you click something that's supposed to take you to a link or take you to a page or something like that, and there's nothing there, somebody needs to email me. If you click on a quiz and there's nothing there, somebody email me, because as I said, I'm going to be building this as we go. And so we need to make sure that I don't miss something somewhere along the way, and then you'll help me be able to do that. And hopefully once I get it built, it'll run a lot smoother, and we will see. But for this week, all you need to do is make sure you can get to the textbook, read through all this material, just sort of glance through it. I'll get a daily syllabus up probably tomorrow that will give you, August the 26th, or 27th, whatever, September the 3rd. It'll tell you what we're going to do on every day and what you need to do. And it'll be in the syllabus portion. When you go to the syllabus, there'll be a little thing here that says downloadable syllabus, and it will give you the day-by-day schedule for us and what we will do. You also need to make sure you download Respondus from this link. It explains Respondus to you, and it gives you a link right here where you can click and download it. If you download Respondus for one of your classes here at Coastal, it works for all of them, so you don't have to download it again if you've already downloaded it for a class. But when we start taking quizzes, you'll read a chapter. There'll be a chapter quiz that goes along with it. Usually what happens is you get multiple chances at the quiz, because I want you to go back into chapters. If you don't do well on the quiz, go back to the chapter. I recommend that as students read a chapter, they take notes. That way they've got something to fall back on. And then take the quiz again. Don't wait till the last day the quiz is available and then sit down and take back to back to back. You're not going to improve your scores that way. That's just guessing. And then there'll be a unit test. So you may do chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you'll have a unit test that covers chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so if all you're doing is guessing on the quizzes, then you're not going to do well on the unit test, which are going to be worth more than what the quizzes are worth. So you need to be sure that you take the quizzes so you can understand the material. So when you come to the unit test, you are going to be in good shape. Okay? That's sort of the purpose of having multiple attempts at the quizzes, because you only get one chance at the unit test. You won't get several. So make sure that you're prepared when it comes time to do that. And then we'll have some different projects and stuff that we have to do, because it is a oral communication class. Part of it's theory, but part of it's also application. And then we'll sort of work our way through like that. Okay? But everything through modules, and I'll send you emails reminding you of stuff and to put announcements up. And then so make sure that you go through the first module, looking at the course overview, looking at everything. Take the syllabus quiz before it closes if you have not already done so. And then that will sort of be this week for us. And then by tomorrow, you should see Unit 1 pop up, and it'll tell you what chapters to read and what assignments you have to do for Unit 1, which will be next week. And then we'll just go through it that way. And I will try to stay out in front of you guys as I build this class on the move. Okay? We will not meet on Thursday through Canvas. I mean, anytime we do meet, it'll be through Canvas. I don't know that we'll use conferences every time. There's another tool that some instructors are using, and you may have already used it, called Teams. And I'm going to try both of them out, and just so I can see which one I think works better for our purposes. And once I've tried them both out, we'll find one and we'll stick with it. And that's what we will use for our time together. And but we'll figure all that out. So Thursday you will have you will have basically online stuff to do. I will be in front of my computer from 11 to 12:15 on Thursday if you have any questions or need anything from me or whatever. And even on the days, as I said, we don't meet through a conference, I will be. You will not come to campus for this class, period. Okay? Though if you do need to come to campus to see me, this is a Thomasville class, so I'm in Thomasville on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock. So you can always message me and make arrangements to come see me if you need to. Okay? And then I'll tell you what day next week we're going to meet. The module will pop up, and I will tell you whether we're going to meet on Tuesday or Thursday. And you'll be the same thing. You'll get an invite. All right? Any questions? If you have a question, then just drop it in the box and ask me. If you do not have a question of me, then that's all I have for today. It's just sort of an introduction to the class to get us moving. If you want to listen to other people's questions to see if they're going to ask something that you want to hear an answer to, then you're more than welcome to hang around. Or if you have a question, you can hang around. But if you don't, then I don't have anything else for you. If you think of something down the road, you can always email me and ask me. But short of that, I will meet with you again next week. But if you have a question, or if you want to just hang around to see what other people are going to ask, then by all means do. If not, that's all I have for you today. And if you need anything, email me. Okay, where can you email me on Canvas? So if you can see my screen, if you can't, then let me know. When you go into Canvas, if you look over here on the left-hand side, you'll see what says Inbox. And if you click on that, that's where you can send an email to me. You should be able to choose my class, and then you should be able to type the email and send it that way. Okay? What I see and what you see is not always the same. When I click on it, it gives me the option to send an email, and then it will ask me what class I want to send the email to. And then I can go in and select the class and then send it. I'm assuming that when you get that option, what it tells you is you can send an email to your instructor. But it's right over here on the left-hand side, which, by the way, you'll have your course list over here, of course, and your dashboard. But that is also where help is at. And another important thing for us, that is also where studio is at. And when you have to do things, some of the things that we do, like if you have to record a speech and upload it to me, you will do that through Studio, and so you'll have to use Studio. That's the Studio button. But if you have to do that, upload a speech and send it to me, if you have to video yourself and then for a project and send it to me, I will give you explicit instructions. As a matter of fact, I will put a video in that shows you where to click and what to do. And if you watch the video, you'll be able to do that. But that's where you can email me. Right? And look, I understand that a lot of you are first semester freshmen, and so Canvas and all this stuff is brand new to you. And I understand that. And so feel free to ask me questions like that if you need to, whether it's today or in an email. Because I'll send an email out that says, go to Canvas and go to modules or whatever. And I've got students sitting out there going, how do I find modules? And, they don't want to ask. Well, I ask. One of the things I've learned in life is that if you have a question, there's probably 3 or 4 other people floating around with the exact same question. They're just hoping somebody will ask it. And so we don't know anything till we know it. So feel free to ask whatever you need to, because once you figure it out, you'll be good. But let me say this also, read every email I send you. You need to check Canvas every day for emails and read any announcement I put out. Students, I'll send emails and then I'll get an email back from a student 5 minutes later asking me exactly what I put in the email, which shows me they didn't read the email. So make sure they'll skim emails. Make sure you read it. Even if it's long, read it. If I think it's important enough for me to take the time to send you an email, I think it's important. So be sure you read the emails. And then on any assignment that you do, read the instructions carefully. I have students who will attempt assignments without reading the instructions. And if I give you an example, read the example, because that's how I want you to do it. So make sure you read the instructions, make sure you read emails. But if you need me, you can email me that way. Okay, any other questions? And like I said, if you think of something down the road that you said, oh, I wish I'd asked him that, email me and ask me. And if it's something I think, the class needs to hear this answer, I'll send an email out to the entire class saying, hey, somebody asked me, let me tell you what I told them in case any of the rest of you are wondering about this. And we'll get it taken care of. But if you don't have anything else, then we will meet again next week. I will contact you in the next day or two and let you know what day next week we're going to meet in conference. And when we do that, we'll be doing coursework. So we'll be going over a chapter, or we'll be